Hi everyone, myself Juwaira Siddiqa, lecturer in zoology, MBS Government Degree College, Mahbub Nagar. Today, in this session, I am going to discuss about the NVBD CP, which is a short form for the National Vector-Borne Disease Control Program. This is a program which will be controlled by the government of India or by the nation of any country, where the like epidemic diseases will be happen and how should be it could be controlled by the maintaining processes or the maintaining procedures to control over this type of the diseases. National Vector-Borne Disease Control Program. It is launched in the year of 2003 and 4 by convergence of three ongoing programs on the malaria, filaria and Kala-Azar. As we know, when the malaria and the filaria, the any type of this national level disaster is, or we can say the national level vector-borne diseases. This is especially for the vector-borne diseases. Like we know about the malaria, here the vector is a mosquito. Malaria is actually caused by the Plasmodium species, but here the vector is for the malaria is a mosquito. So how can control over this mosquito to avoid the problem for the malaria and the filariasis? So this is a diseases which affect the large group of members in a nation or a country or any large group of people in a nation. So this type of all diseases come under into the epidemic like diseases. So from 1% it may be a chance to get so many persons are affected due to these diseases, and it includes like that what are the problems here: malaria, filaria and the Kala-Azar, and inclusion of the Japanese encephalitis and the dengue fever. In the recently I think last year, in the year of like dengue, so many people are suffer from this dengue fever, like in the month of like October, September and the October. In the month of October, I think in the last year, that is in the 2019 also, there may be some declaration of holidays for the 15 days to avoid to prevent from the dengue fever, and all the hygienic conditions will be maintained, all the educational institutions will be closed. Are there some holidays are declared for the educational institutions to avoid from this or to protect from this dengue fever. It is a recently happened in our country also, like a epidemic disease. And in the year of 2007, chikungunya fever added to this program. So yeah, so many members are affected from this chikungunya. Why? Because in 2007 so many members are affected from this disease by joint pains. Chikungunya fever will added this program, and due to the re-emergence of disease in the year of 2006, this program is now runs under the umbrella of National Health Management Programs. So umbrella programs are nothing but like so many programs are run through under a big program, or we can say a big project, where a project is there under which all type of the managements, all type of the disease controlling programs are going. Such type of program is called as the umbrella program, and that umbrella program is about that is the to control on the vectors to avoid the national vector to avoid the vector-borne diseases. And what are the programs which come under into this? Like malaria, first of all, filaria, Kala-Azar disease, Japanese encephalitis, dengue fever, hemorrhagic fever, that is also called as the hemorrhagic fever. Why? Because here the platelet quantity, whatever the blood cells related to the blood cells, so platelet quantity will be so much of reduced and related to the blood, so it is called as the hemorrhagic fever. And chikungunya, and you can see we can take the example of this malaria caused by the mosquito, Anopheles mosquito, and the filariasis like elephant like leg, and again the Anopheles type of the mosquitoes, which will be the vectors for the different diseases. Organizations of the program. Who organize this? The Directorate of National Vector-Borne Disease Control Program is the national level technical nodal office. Means it is a main office where the programs is maintained and regulated. Every state has a state vector national level, the National Directorate Office is there, whereas in the state level also the State Vector-Borne Disease Control component, that is the component under the Directorate of Health Services. It comes under into the health services of the state level. At the same time, in the district level also, the District Malaria Office have been established under District Chief Medical and Health Office by the states. So who organizes, who control the programs? National level, the national organization is there. State level, state organization is level, and the district level, the district organization is level. So here all the branches are they are working on their manner, they are working on their level of manner. In the state level, the state body is doing also such type of work, like in the health ministry is there, health officers are there. At the district level, the district malaria office is there. At the primary health centers are there. So many organization, not only the government organization, with this government organization, so many non-government organizations are also work under this to avoid such type of programs. And then delivery of malaria control services by ASHA workers. As we know, that is the ASHA workers are the primary health centers. They are the ASHA workers and other voluntaries at the community and the household level in the high endemic areas where this disease become the so much endemic areas, like they affected with the so many people. At that places, till the doorstep, the workers, the ASHA workers are there who work on that particular program, and they are day to day, they are day by day, they are giving the advice to the villagers, advice to the society members in the community, how to prevent and what are the measures to maintain to avoid such type of infections which will be caused by the vectors, and awareness programs, awareness campaigns. They conduct the some type of awareness campaigns also in the society level, and enhancing the supportive supervision and monitoring by engaging district level or the national vector-borne disease consultant at the district level and the malaria technical supervisors at sub-district level. What are the main activities of the Directorate of the National Vector-Borne Control Program? What they do? How the work of organization? Formulating policies and the guidelines. They have to maintain some policies. They have to what we can say, they have to establish, they have to create some policies like malaria policy and the filariasis policy, national level policies, state level policies. So they have to produce, they have to follow up the policies and the guidelines for that, work on that policies, providing the technical guidance to the states. They planning, logistics and monitoring and evaluation, coordination activities to the state and union territories, collaboration with international organizations, conduct training programs, facilitating the research through the NCDC or the national institutes. What are the different types of national institutes here? NCDC like NIMR, RMRC, coordination control activities in the interstate and the inter-country border areas, whatever the states and the countries are there in between the borders, there the communication, they work for the communication, and they talk about the internationally about the issues and the health problems. So there is a interrelation between the country to country and nation to nation. Likewise, they're planning for the, and they have to maintain their policies for the health, for the health of the nation. And then what are the strategies of the National Vector-Borne Disease Control Program? The first strategy is about the disease management. How the work, they follow the strategy first to maintain the, to manage management about the disease. Early case detection and the complete treatment. First case has to be detected and complete treatment. Strengthen the referral services, epidemic preparedness and the rapid responses. What before suffering from any type of epidemic, they have to first planning, if such condition will occur, what will be the measures they are going to be take. That is called as a epidemic preparedness. First they have to be prepared. And integrated vector managements like entomological surveillance, anti-larval measures, kill the larvals, and anti-adult measures. killing of the vectors at the larval stages, killing of the vectors at the adult stages. Supportive interventions like behavioral change communications, BCC, intersectoral convergence, public-private partnership, operational research, monitoring and evaluation. By doing all such strategies means making a plan to overcome from such type of diseases, the national level policies are there. And nowadays what happened here, we are hearing about the like viral infection diseases like the corona, COVID-19, which is caused by again the COVID-19 virus, that is a corona disease. All the epidemic level and the pandemic, it become a global level. So same strategies may be following here from the government or by the NGOs, that how and what are the protective and the safety measures have to follow, and there is a complete lockdown is going on. These are all the information which is come from the health ministry, health department. So this is the thing happens when any type of the disease which affect on the national and the global level. Existing strategies for the malaria control in India. What are the strategies here? First, larval control. In the, you can see in this picture clearly mention about that. What are the strategies? First strategy is about the, as I explained about in the last previous slide, there is a control at the larval stages. So this is a larva to killing of the larva of the mosquitoes for the malaria, which may be stagnant on the water, which may be sit on the stagnant water. They're just taking up by the net and killing of the larva by spraying some chemicals, and larvicidal effect, and diagnosis by the microscopy. Treatment, national drug policy, it maintain and regulate all the treatment procedure, and IRS method, by implementation of the some chemicals, bleaching powder, or the spraying, doing the spraying, and then maintain net, and then RDT, rapid test. So likewise all this, and by the vaccinations we can avoid. And what are the strategies we can follow to avoid from the malaria? And malaria control strategies, like it is an epidemic, just now I told about it's an epidemic disease. So epidemiologically surveillance and case management. First, case detection, active and passive. Early diagnosis and complete treatment. Sensational surveillance. So this is the thing, they can be epidemiological level control strategy. Integrated level, what is the strategy? Anti-larval measures like environmental control, chemical control, biological control. By doing these three procedures, antiviral means at the killing of the vectors at the viral stages, and anti-adult stages like residual sprays, adult to kill the adults, space sprays, genetic control of the genetic control on the mosquitoes at the adult level. Personal protection by maintaining mosquito net, screening, repellents like all outs, good night, and some coils. These are all act as a repellents to avoid from the biting of mosquito. Epidemic preparedness. How can preparedness for the epidemic level? And early responses. That is the third one. And fourth one is about strengthening of the referral services. Fifth one is about supportive interventions. What are the supportive interventions? Like BCC, behavioral change communication, public-private partnership, human resource development through capacity building, operational research including studies on the drug resistance and insecticide susceptibility, monitoring and evaluation through the periodic reviews, field visits. So by doing all these strategies, we can overcome on the malaria. After the malaria, the next one is about filariasis, like elephant like leg. So filariasis, or it is also called as a lymphatic filariasis. Filariasis is a endemic in 250 districts in the 20 states and union territories. According to the recent estimation, 600 million people are exposed to the risks of infection. National Filaria Control Program was started in the year of 1955. In the year of 1978, the operational components was merged with Urban Malaria Scheme, and 2003 and 4 it was merged with the National Vector-Borne Control Program. Filariasis has been a major public health problem in the India, next only to the malaria. So malaria is the first one. After the malaria, filariasis is a second problem. And then after the filariasis, the next is about dengue fever. As we know, there was a major outbreak of dengue and DHF in the Delhi in the 1966. But in the last year also, in the 2019 also, so many cases are there which is affected by the dengue, which is caused by the Aedes aegypti. This is a pathogen which is caused by the Aedes aegypti. Aedes aegypti is a mosquito which causes the dengue fever. Since the many focal outbreak have been reported from different areas of the country, mainly from the urban areas. This disease has been included in the National Vector-Borne in the year of 2003 and 4. It is caused by beta flavi virus, that is the serotype again 1, 2, 3, 4. Means here 3-4 types of the strains of there. It is caused by B. flavi virus, transmitted through the Aedes aegypti. It is a viral infection. Reservoir for the infection, man and mosquito. Infection may be asymptomatic, and again it also causes the classical dengue fever, dengue hemorrhagic fever without shock, dengue hemorrhagic fever with shock. So here the symptoms may be seen or symptoms may not be seen. What is the control strategy? The control strategy is about public awareness. The first thing about to maintain the health and hygienic condition. See here in this picture showing how it will be happen, where it will be occur breeding site, where the water will be stagnant. The water is, you can see in this picture, where the water bodies are the stagnant water is there in the household, any bowls or any vessels is filled with water and they stay for the long time, there the mosquito breeding will be seen. As a result, in the pots also, in the plants or any empty vessels, water accumulation is there, water storage is there. In that water storage, other than the tire which is the waste tires are there, or the buckets, you can see the any waste things where the water is storing, at that place the mosquito breeding will be high and it causes the dengue fever. And to avoid from this, municipal departments, they are conducting so many campaigns, so many awareness programs, and maintaining the health and hygiene in the society level. And public awareness and the community involvement is the key issue in the strategy of controlling dengue fever or dengue hemorrhagic fever. All the efforts should be made against the breeding of Aedes aegypti mosquito by source reduction, protection from the mosquito bites, early diagnosis and the prompt treatment of cases. And after that, the next disease is about Japanese encephalitis. It is a zoonotic disease caused by B. arbovirus. It is transmitted by bite of female mosquito, mainly Culex tritinoaethyrhynchus, Culex vishnoi and the Culex pseudovishnoi groups. That is, the Japanese encephalitis virus is a primarily zoonotic. It is a natural cycle and man is a accidental host. The virus is a neurotrophic and primarily affects central nervous system, means is effect on the brain. It affect on the brain. What is the control strategy for the Japanese encephalitis? Care of the patient to prevent the sequel, development of safe and standard vaccines. Sentinel and the surveillance include clinical surveillance of susceptible cases, studies of identify high-risk cases, epidemiological monitoring of the disease and effective implementation of preventive and control measures. After that, Kala-Azar, which is caused by again Leishmania species. It is caused by Leishmania donovani. It is a Leishmania donovani. My writing is not that much clear. It is not coming properly. Leishmania species. Okay. Transmitted by man bite of the female sandfly. It is caused by sandfly. In India, endemic states like Bihar, Jharkhand, West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh may be affected with this high risk of infection with this Leishmania donovani. Target is to reduce annual incidence of the Kala-Azar to less than 1 by 10,000 population at block PHC level. So at the primary health level or primary health center level, here the reduction of this annual reduction of the occurrence of this Kala-Azar may be reduced. After that, the chikungunya is a fever where is a debilitating non-fatal viral illness re-emerging in the country after a gap of 3 decades. Means before the 3 decades it has occurred, but now after the re-emergence in the year of 2007, again it is including into the National Vector-Borne Disease Control Program. Government of India continuously monitoring the situation. Guidelines for prevention and control of this disease have been prepared. So for any type of national level occurrence of these diseases, the first one thing about to maintain the health and hygienic condition, to maintain the good sanitary condition, to depend upon the balanced diet. So these are the basic factors to avoid all such type of the diseases. Since same vector is involved the transmission of dengue and the chikungunya, strategies for transmission of risk reduction by the vector control are also same. Means here it is also caused by the sandfly. For carrying out the proactive surveillance and the enhancing diagnostic facilities for the chikungunya, the sentinel surveillance hospital involved the dengue in the affected states also carry out the chikungunya test. The chikungunya and the dengue, the same tests are there as the vector is same. The diagnostic kits are provided through the National Institute of Virology, Pune, by the central government. So I think this is enough for this session. And in this session I discussed about what is the malaria, what is the filaria, and dengue fever, Japanese encephalitis, what are the control strategies, and what are the factors, what are the preventive measures, how can we prevent from this. So first of all I want to tell you that before occurrence of any such type of diseases, as a person we have to as a primary member of the society, it is our responsibility to avoid such type of unhealthy habits, like our surroundings should be maintained clean, and it is not get a chance to occurrence of the vectors like the mosquito or the sand fly or the fruit fly. So whatever the vectors are there, they may be occur due to such getting such type of source for their breeding. We have to remove, we have to avoid to produce such type of source for their reproduction, as we can try to avoid such type of diseases. And our government also, their health ministry is there, and at the same time the national level policies are there, district level policies are there, and as our so many programs are there which runs under that policies and the umbrella programs to overcome with this type of the diseases. I think it is clear for you, and thank you. It is end for now. It is enough. Okay, thank you for listening.